This has been a hectic day. I have been on deliveries. I got to get my truck loaded up later for tomorrow's deliveries. And then I was in production and I kind of got a brilliant idea. Come on over here, I'll show you. Before the camera girl got here, I thought I would just quickly dump all of these containers. They seem to all get filled up at the same time. I usually dump them on Sunday, which is like a rest day for me. But I've been hustling, you know, I've been delivering every day, but then I got a lot of production done this week too. So my totes have gotten full. My wood pile's getting low. And now it's time for me to start worrying I don't have enough logs. I need to get Log Hauler Jesse over here with a delivery. Okay, come over here. Let me show you what I've done. I just made a very nice load of cherry. This was all with the perfect split. And I noticed I didn't get the trailer totally full. So I'm taking this opportunity. I have a number of these skinny logs and I had pulled them all out and set them by themselves. My thought is, I think the skinny logs run better with the traditional knife. So I'm gonna take out the perfect split out of the Japa, and which I'm in the middle of doing, and I'm gonna put in the traditional. This is the 4-way and this is the 6-way. I also have an 8-way, but I don't need that right now. So I have the perfect split. I'm in the process of taking it out with this crane. I have removed the pullback arm. That has to come out of the way. And I have removed the bolts out of the ears of the perfect split. And I'm just gonna lift this out. And let's swing this around, guys. And let's get a close-up look of it. So this is the perfect split. This is the 4-way, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a 6-way, but I've mostly used the 4-way. And I see that we're getting a little bit of abuse on the center knife. This one here gets the most work, but they're still really sharp. I can feel it. This one feels sharper than this one though. And then the leading edge of the top is still it could probably be sharpened. I never even thought about sharpening this before, but I'm sure it can be done. But anyhow, let's get the perfect split out of the way. I just set it in a wheelbarrow. So the crane has done its job. I'm going to put this in here and we'll get the perfect split out of the way. And now I'm going to put in the 4-way. Oh. And then I'll stick in the 4-way. Okay, the 4-way is in. Here's what I'm saying, guys. The perfect split has to push the log over that leading edge of that perfect split knife. So they have it recessed and they put this nylon piece in here so that it can hit that knife, separate the bottom wood from the top so it can pull it back and split it again. Well, that's great, but you don't want the pusher blasting your traditional knife. So the computer controls how far the pusher comes out. And I am going to set the parameters now so that we can use traditional knives. And this is how you do it. You got to start the engine up. And you have to let the computer boot up So we're gonna go into our settings. Our pusher out setting is at +4. And we are going to change this to -2. And we'll hit OK and close. So now when I hit the splitter, the ram, the pusher, is not going to hit the knife. It leaves about an inch of wood on there. It leaves about that much gap on it. We're safe, and now I can start running these skinnier logs through here, and we're just gonna run all these through the 4-way knife. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Before I get it fired up, let me just show you a couple things I pay attention to. For each run now, I make sure that my in-feed belt is tracking straight. It's off a little, but I think it's still in good shape. I check my hydraulic fluid level, make sure that I haven't sprung a leak. I had already checked my oil in the engine. I'm looking at my perfect clean conveyor, making sure it is tracking straight. I check my bar and chain oil, make sure that it is full, and it is. I check the cleaner and make sure that it is working. I take a peek through here. I look at my outfeed conveyor to make sure it is turning, which it is. I check the chain, make sure it is tight, and it is. So that is our once around, and I am ready to start running these skinny logs, guys. Diameter with the perfect split, doesn't matter, it's always the same size. my cup runneth over. We are spilling out onto the ground here. There you go. So that's the 4-way, guys. So for you guys that get a little bit frustrated watching the multiple passes of the perfect split, this run was for you. And I have an old video, and I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to get a bigger log in here and run that 8-way. And man, oh man, does this make firewood fast. There is something I've learned though, because this is an offset design, so the infeed is offset from the splitting action. And if you've noticed, when that log gets fed, I can either lay it on the table and drop it down, or I can keep this tray down so it just falls down automatically. When it falls, because it's offset, it kind of rolls back and forth before it settles in the middle. My 365 was an inline machine, so that log would just plop. And in a way, that was faster, although the saw motor is much more powerful on this than the 365. And the RAM is somewhat faster too, but that little bit of this, you know, when you're ready to hit that button, you got to sit and wait for that to cycle. But hey, we made some serious firewood. And let me show you, I'm walking into the sun over here. So these are those skinny logs that I had set off to the side. And I figured the problem with that perfect split with the skinny ones is, you know, you're doing 2, sometimes 3 passes on a skinny log, and you're getting skinny pieces to begin with, maybe 2 small, and multiple passes with that ram. So in this case here, I just went ahead and set all these off to the side, and I'm just going to put them on the table now all by myself. I'm going to have to cut some of these in half so that they don't tip off the table, but that's going to be my next runs. The other thing too is I'm going to be running my oak with that 4-way and 6-way knife, because those oak restaurants, the 2 that I have that have been eating up all my oak, they prefer bigger pieces, maybe like this in 4ths, you know. So why put them through the perfect split? I'll just put them through the 4-way knife. And oh, by the way, what about this weather? If you saw the short that I had put up on all my social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, scraping my windshield, that was yesterday morning. And now we're in mid-70s. We're going to be pushing 80 this week. I'm in t-shirts and back into my shorts. It's just the way it is here in Ohio. We always say, if you don't like the weather in Ohio, stick around, because it'll change in 15 minutes. I have my high school boy coming. We're going to load up the truck and get it ready for tomorrow. The property owner he was working in the lot next door, and he had offered to come in and just move some of these logs down. You might have seen this deucing in some other videos. And so he has been a big help. He was the one that built this entire wall, and really just made me feel at home, and made this decision about moving in here a very easy decision to make. So that's what I got going on here, guys. It's a beehive of activity. And this is the busy time of the year, I'm telling you. My phone's just ringing off the hook. But it's interesting. Now that I'm here, I'm still able to produce on days that I'm delivering. And that's a home run, if you ask me. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like looking at the 405 from a different perspective, seeing how flexible of a machine it is. It's what makes it world class. All right, guys, everyone have a great day.